Everything is fine. Actually, for maybe the first time in a long time, things are genuinely okay. No crisis. No emergency. No one is angry. Nothing is falling apart. And somehow, that is the most unsettling feeling in the world. You can't sit still. You can't fully exhale. You keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, scanning the room, scanning the conversation, scanning the silence for something that confirms what some part of you already believes. This won't last. So you create friction where there isn't any. You overthink the text that hasn't come yet. You find a problem in the situation that doesn't have one. You feel guilty for relaxing, like stillness is something you haven't earned, or something you can't afford to trust. And the people around you, the ones who grew up in calm, predictable homes, they look at you and say, just relax. Everything is fine. But your body doesn't get that memo. Your body is still listening for the front door, still waiting for the tone of voice to shift, still braced for the moment the good thing ends, because in your experience, the good thing always ended. You're not broken. You're not dramatic. Your nervous system learned something a long time ago, and it is still following those instructions. Once you understand what it learned, everything about yourself that has confused you will finally start to make sense. Your nervous system is not there to make you happy. It is there to keep you alive. And it does that by learning. Constantly. Automatically. Without asking your permission. When you grow up in chaos, emotional unpredictability, instability, a parent whose mood you could never quite read, your nervous system does something incredibly intelligent. It adapts. It recalibrates itself around the reality of your environment. It learns. Calm is temporary. Peace is just the gap between problems. And it gets very, very good at staying ready. Researchers call this chronic hypervigilance. Your amygdala, your brain's threat detector, gets trained to stay switched on, to keep scanning, to treat relaxation not as safety, but as a gap in your defenses. Because in your home growing up, that's exactly what it was. The quiet before the argument. The calm before someone came home in the wrong mood. The few good days before everything fell apart again. Your nervous system didn't learn that peace means safety. It learned that peace means not yet. And here's what matters most. That nervous system came with you. Into adulthood. Into your relationships. Into the quiet apartment you live in now, or the stable job, or the relationship where no one is screaming. Your life changed, but your body didn't get the update. Have you ever been in a moment that was genuinely peaceful, a quiet evening, a relationship going well, a period of life with no major problems, and instead of feeling grateful, you felt anxious? Like something was wrong, but you couldn't name what. There's a name for this. Psychologists call it low tolerance for positive effect. And in people who grew up in unpredictable environments, that tolerance is often painfully low. Because peace was never just peace. It was a warning sign. And so your brain, even now, even in safety, keeps looking for the threat. And when it can't find one, it creates one. It manufactures urgency. It picks a fight. It convinces you that the good thing is about to end. Not because you want chaos, but because chaos was the only thing your nervous system ever learned to trust. There's something else that happens too, something most people never connect. People who grew up in chaotic environments often feel an unconscious pull toward situations that feel familiar. Not because they're comfortable, but because the nervous system recognizes them. High-intensity relationships, constant busyness, drama, urgency. These feel like home. Not because home was good, but because home was known. And the brain, under stress, always chooses the known over the unfamiliar, even when the unfamiliar is peace. Let me show you what this actually looks like, because it's subtler than most people realize. It looks like never fully enjoying the good moments. Like there's a glass wall between you and your own happiness. You're present, but not quite. waiting for it to be taken. It looks like pushing people away right when things get close. Not because you don't want connection, but because closeness feels dangerous to a nervous system that learned love was unpredictable. It looks like being addicted to being busy, because stillness is where the feelings live. And the feelings were never safe to feel growing up. So you fill every quiet moment before it can fill itself. It looks like conflict feeling more comfortable than calm, where a stable, loving relationship somehow feels more anxiety-inducing than a volatile one that keeps you on your toes. And it looks like a deep, exhausting inability to just be okay, even when everything around you is okay. Because your baseline, the state your nervous system returns to automatically, was never calm. It was alert. It was ready. It was waiting. And you've been living slightly above that baseline your entire life without ever knowing that's what was happening. Here's the thing about trauma that most people misunderstand. You don't have to have one big terrible thing happen to carry it in your body. Growing up in a home where the emotional temperature was always unpredictable, where you had to read the room before you could feel safe in it, that is enough. Years of low-grade alertness. Years of adjusting yourself to someone else's volatility. Years of shrinking, scanning, bracing. That lives in the body, not as a memory you can point to, but as a posture, a breathing pattern, a tightness that never fully leaves. A part of you that never fully arrived in the present moment because it was always somewhere slightly in the future, waiting for what comes next. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, one of the leading researchers on trauma, spent decades studying why some people can't move on from painful pasts even when they want to. His conclusion: the body keeps the score. The mind can understand that things are different now. The mind can reason and rationalize and know intellectually that you are safe. But the body doesn't speak in logic. It speaks in sensation, in muscle tension, in a heartbeat that rises for no reason, in a restlessness that won't quiet down no matter how much your life improves. And until the body gets the message, not just the mind, the old instructions keep running. So what actually helps? Not tips to think your way out of this, but real ways to begin teaching your body that it's safe now. First, name what's happening in real time. The next time you feel inexplicably anxious in a calm moment, instead of trying to fix it or figure out why, just name it out loud or in your head. My nervous system is scanning for a threat that isn't there. That's it. That simple act of naming, what researchers call affect labeling, reduces amygdala activation. It shifts you from the alarm part of your brain into the thinking part. You're not suppressing the feeling. You're just giving it context. Second, practice being in safety, deliberately, repeatedly. Healing hypervigilance isn't about finding peace. It's about staying in peace long enough for your nervous system to learn it's real. That means deliberately sitting in calm moments without escaping them, without picking up your phone, without creating urgency, just letting the quiet be quiet and noticing that nothing bad happens. Every time you do this, you're giving your nervous system new data. You're showing it evidence it has never had before. See, this is okay. You are okay. Third, work with the body, not just the mind. Therapy helps. Understanding helps. But the nervous system heals through the body. Slow, regulated breathing, especially a longer exhale than inhale, directly activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part that signals safety. That tells the alarm to stand down. Even 2 minutes of this, before sleep, in the middle of anxiety, begins to physically shift your baseline over time. Movement helps too. Not punishing exercise, but movement that brings you into your body. That reminds you that you live here in the present, in this body that is not in danger anymore. Fourth, give yourself permission to believe things are actually okay. This is the hardest one, because some part of you is convinced that relaxing is dangerous, that trusting peace is naive. That if you stop bracing, something will get you. But here is the truth. The vigilance that kept you safe back then, it is not keeping you safe now. It is costing you. It is costing you presence, joy, rest, connection. You don't have to earn calm. You don't have to wait until everything is perfect to let your body exhale. You are allowed to be okay right now, even before you've fully healed, even before you fully believe it. I want to close with something I really need you to hear. If peace has always felt a little wrong to you, if calm has always carried this faint edge of thread, you are not weak. You're not broken. You are not someone who is incapable of happiness. You're someone whose body learned to survive. And it did its job remarkably well. The problem is survival mode was never meant to be permanent. It was meant to be a response, not a residence. And you have been living there for so long that you forgot there was anywhere else to go. Healing doesn't mean forgetting where you came from. It doesn't mean pretending the chaos didn't shape you. It means slowly, gently, one quiet moment at a time, showing your body that the story has changed, that the house is different now, that the people around you are safe, that the silence is just silence, not a warning, that you made it out, and that you are allowed, finally, fully allowed, to put the armor down. If this video reached something in you, share it with someone who has never been able to just feel okay, because they've probably spent their whole life thinking something is wrong with them, and nothing is wrong with them. They just never had anyone explain why. Subscribe for more of this. The deep stuff. The things that make you feel a little less alone in your own head. I'll see you in the next one.